This just in, a juror replaced in the federal case against R. Kelly. The woman said she was having a panic attack during closing arguments and asked to be excused. CBS 2's Tara Molina has been at that trial from the very beginning, and we want to warn you some of the details shared in court are disturbing.
The prosecution started their closing arguments in this case by immediately bringing up Jane, the pivotal witness throughout this trial who testified the sex abuse by R. Kelly started when she was just 14 years old. Calling Jane a child abused by Kelly, they said he wasn't the only one who made efforts to cover it all up. The jury has heard 4 weeks of testimony from more than 30 witnesses and seen evidence, including clips from 3 sex tapes. In closing arguments, they heard the government go over all the charges in this child pornography and obstruction of justice case. 13 against R. Kelly, 4 against former business manager Daryl McDavid, and 1 against former staffer Milton June Brown. In closing, the government said all 3 tried to cover up Kelly's behavior and failed. Prosecutors pointing out to jurors the sex tapes they saw snippets of in court were covered up for 2 decades, reminding the jury in explicit detail what they saw and heard on those tapes, all involving Jane, including Kelly referring to her as 14 years old and Kelly urinating on Jane's body parts, face, and mouth. Prosecutors also denied Daryl McDavid, Kelly's former business manager's testimony, claiming he didn't know about the sexual relationship between Kelly and Jane. The government said despite what McDavid testified, both he and staffer Milton Brown knew about the relationship and the effort to hide it. Coming up at 6, we're bringing you closing arguments from the defense, starting with Kelly's former business manager, Daryl McDavid, whose defense continues to maintain McDavid only acted through the acclaimed group of lawyers and private investigators he hired to represent Kelly. Reporting inside the federal court, I'm Tara Molina, CBS 2 News.